Hello, welcome to the Turret of Pleasure. You're in the Enchanted Kingdom of Hermione. I'm the Lord Chamberlain of the Enchanted Kingdom Zip Gun. And I figure I'm going to start a new series of what I hope are relatively short videos. And they're a combination of personal and sort of whatever. And I'm going to call them moments. And sometimes they're, the moment for a particular subject. And I'm going to try and be as specific about dates as possible, but sometimes I can't be because I don't remember the exact date that certain things happened. And these will be a combination of deeply personal experiences, mostly tied in with music and events in music at the time in question. And I figured I could really go overboard with this if I wanted. So I figured I better narrow it down to simply things that happened in my lifetime. Because that way, these are moments in time that were of significant importance to me, but also to the world in many cases. And I started writing up a list of these, and it got to be quite a long list. So I figured, okay, I'll make a bunch of these, and I'll put them out every week if I can, which people that follow this channel know I'm not very good at that. I don't make videos if I don't have anything to talk about. And this sort of gave me a good starting point to make hopefully a whole bunch of what might be enlightening videos for my viewer base. And I thought, well, if these are going to be about things that happened to me in my lifetime, I guess we'll start at the beginning. And the beginning, in this case, is the day I was born, February 18th, 1959. And so I did that great Google thing that I think everybody has done, where you Google your birthday and you say, hey, what happened when the day I was born? What was in the charts? What significant musical activity was going on? And I had a little bit of there's a couple of things about this particular one that are interesting. First of all, I had been under the mistaken impression for many years that some of the Kind of Blue sessions by Miles Davis had been recorded on the day I was born. And I went to research this and a whole bunch of these other ones, and I discovered that that was not, in fact, the case. The Kind of Blue session started on March the 3rd, 2 weeks after I was born. If you look up my birthday and important dates in history, you'll find that at least in the music world, the most important date that anybody talks about is the day that Buddy Holly died, which was 2 weeks before I was born. So that doesn't really count. I can't really include that. And but I was in trying to figure out this Miles Davis angle. I went to trusty Google, punched in February 18th, 1959, Miles Davis, and it came up with Miles Davis. This is AI now. Miles Davis played a gig at Birdland, and I should have written this down, but I don't remember. Played at Birdland with a whole quintet of people, which I looked at this and I thought, really? Because they were all people he didn't play with in 1959. None of them were people that played on Kind of Blue. None of them were in his quintet at the time. So I kind of thought, that's kind of odd. Did he just do a pickup gig at Birdland? And so I don't trust AI, and you shouldn't either. So I decided I would sort of dig a little deeper into this. And through a bit more digging, I discovered a website that was an exhaustive list of all things Miles Davis, including his gigs. And I discovered that when I went to a website where they'd actually done their homework, it turned out that this gig that they're talking about on AI, in fact, happened on February the 18th, 1950. This doesn't stop AI from saying that this happened and that within weeks, he had recorded his most famous record, Kind of Blue. So this is completely wrong. And I was very put out by this because AI is annoying to start with. And when it starts giving you misinformation that you have to spend 15 minutes to correct, even when you're, and I consider myself something of an expert on Miles Davis. It was bloody annoying. So I said, okay, well, what the hell did happen on the day I was born? Was there anything of any significance? Well, there was. And it's funny because the day I was born, an artist recorded a song that basically defined the man. I don't know if it was his biggest hit per se, but it was certainly the song where it launched him really in the larger public eye. And this artist was Ray Charles. And Ray Charles, on February the 18th, 1959, recorded the timeless What I Say, which broke all kinds of rules. There was sexual innuendo, there was, and it's basically the birth of soul music. Interestingly, I didn't hear What I Say until I was at least in my teens, I would think. I did hear some Ray Charles as a child, but the one that I heard on the radio a lot was I Can't Stop Loving You, which may well have been his biggest hit. But What I Say was created on February the 18th, 1959, which was the day I was born. So the significance to me was, of course, I was born, and the significance in music was Ray Charles kind of got his big break, I guess you could say. So that made me happy that something happened on the day I was born. And there you have it, I get not much else to say. I found this in a box set, which those of you who watch the channel assiduously will remember I found it in a thrift store. The complete Atlantic Sessions on Rhino Big Long box set. And I think I paid $5 for it, and I was really happy to find it because it allowed me to catch up on some stuff that's, seminal. I mean, come on. I'm not the biggest Ray Charles fan, and I did read his book, Brother Ray, which reveals things about the man that I didn't really need to know. But Ray was no fool, and when he left Atlantic, signed with ABC, he got a record deal that was unprecedented. He kept his masters, he got a ton of money, and it really set him up for life. And Ray Charles is, just, a gigantic figure in music. So what else can I say? That's number one on my moments. Great moments. And, I'm going to keep them short, so I'm not going to belabor the fact. That's it. Ray Charles, What I Say, and me, all on the same day. Not a bad day. And there you have it. I'm going to proceed to the next one in the next video, and we'll just march along. But for this video, we're already done. Who knew? And I thank you for watching, and I hope you follow through with the rest of these, because some of them are pretty interesting. Some of them are kind of self-evident. Some of them are a surprise. Some of them are moments for really weird reasons. You'll find out. In the interim, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all of that. Don't take any crap from MAGA. And look after each other. Be nice to each other. It's the holiday season right now. And I've been hanging out with my friends at the food bank and everything, and that's a good place to go in the Christmas time because there's a lot of good vibes. And good vibes are a good thing at Christmas. So I'll leave it here. I'll proceed to the next one next week, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.